Hey everyone, this is Arado and we're here to talk about the upcoming banners featuring UDX Candy, and then we also have Saga Soul Nusakan, Pyrix, Kelvin, and Alkarl. First off with UDX Candy, so in farming, Candy is able to do AoE or boss farming. Unfortunately, the damage isn't the best to where the game is at right now, so like say for the AoE skill, um, inherit from the free S-style, the Punishing Fist does a tad better damage for AoE, and it's because this UDX style, the AoE skill Candy Drop, is more towards being a strength debuffer, which goes to the hard content point where Candy is a good strength debuffer and an okay burster. So okay bursters because skill number 3 isn't really the best damage to again where the game is at, because it's a D followed by an SS damage. The redeeming part is there is a self buff for moral up large effect that may bump the damage overall of those two skills into maybe as close to an SSSS as possible. But yeah, that's kind of pushing that point. And then Candy also has an RNG based damage block. So when damage block triggers, so all of the incoming damage, Candy would take 0 damage. However, if the attack has an ailment along with it, say a paralyze or sleep, so Candy would take 0 damage but may still be inflicted with paralyze or sleep. And then lastly, pulling for this style may be able to benefit the summer style with the Candy Drop as a strength debuffer. However, the summer style is more towards being a free heal character as well as an ailment resistance buffer. So I think what the devs were trying to do with the summer style is more design Candy being a unit for egg, because you gain confuse and paralyze resistance as well as other ailment resistance buffing. So maybe Candy might not have the BP for strength debuffing after all. But yeah, it would depend on how you would use Candy in hard content. Next up is Saga Soul. So for the Saga Soul banner, we have first off Nusakan. So for Nusakan, for farming, he only has one offensive skill, which is Griffith Scratch. So it's a double element for boss farming, plain and simple for farming point. For hard content, that that's where the first two skills would apply, where the first one is a healing skill that can cure poison, and then the second skill is a support skill that can inflict confuse. So with that being confused, that allows martial arts group in remembrance battle to be ready for Domofa. And then for Nusakan's ability, he has mystic power as well, so it's 25% chance to gain BP plus 3, and then all attributes buff up to self. And then the global change he has is whenever he lands an attack, he buffs the party with agility and intelligence. It is also at 25% chance. The probability is a little low, but you know, if RNG is with you in a hard battle, it can trigger as much as it can. And one thing to note with Nusakan, so it's not unique for Nusakan for martial arts to have confused, because if you have top hat creator and third style creator, so both of them have confused in their skill set. So if you're only chasing Nusakan for the confused side, then you might not need that given you have the two creator styles mentioned. Next up is Kelvin. So Kelvin has a boss farming skill and a two-rounder single target farming. Plain and simple in that one as well. And then for hard content, he acts as a healer because of Water of Life plus, so that can also cleanse debuff. And then he's also a DPS. So he has self buff for all status and self heal, which is very good for long battles. And then if you pile up his BP, say all the way to 20, you would be able to use skill number 3 two times consecutively, which may help with, you know, inflicting ailments to hard content battles. and because it's large effect, that it may be enough will debuff for you to be able to inflict that ailment after the debuff has happened. Next up is Alkarl. So Alkarl, so just like Kelvin, pretty straightforward for farming. He has a boss and 2-rounder AoE farming skill. Unfortunately, the damage for boss farming isn't the best because it's just SS, but it's a fast skill, so it can be strategic in a way where if you use Magia fight and you put Alkarl at the back, so Alkarl would be able to use Al Phoenix Plus for that. And then next is for hard content, so he is an RNG base to have damage cut and as a tank because his skill number 1 increases taunt to himself, and then like I said, RNG base for him to take 0 damage or basically mitigate 100% of the damage. So just like Candy, if Alkarl takes 0 damage but the attack has an ailment, that Alkarl would be inflicted with that ailment still. And then being a tank, it's good to have an auto revive, and then again he's just an okay DPS because the damage he has for Al Phoenix and the skill number 1 is pretty low, and for a martial arts too. So I think he would mostly be using his taunt skill to, you know, draw some attacks towards him instead rather than the party. And lastly, we have Pyrix, which I feel is the best in the banner. So Pyrix is a solid AoE and column farmer. And then Pyrix also covers multiple elements, so heat, blunt, and I believe pierce as well. And then for hard content, although it takes a while to recharge skill number 3, but you might be able to take advantage of the endurance and will debuff that Pyrix can do, especially in the same situation as what you're planning to do with Kelvin, where you pile up the BP to 20 and then you use skill number 3 twice in a row. Maybe that would be enough to inflict the ailment you wanted to do. And then he's a good DPS, and also not only for hard content but also for farming, that he may be able to buff the party with heat element damage. So Pyrix would be able to work well with Polka or Aunas and so on. So yeah, those are the 2 banners. I feel UDX Candy is a little late on the release, so the skills are a little underwhelming and the stats as well. So I think it was a good move for the game to give us 1 free multi. Maybe some of you get lucky and get Candy or somebody else from the bottomless banner. I would say if you're gonna go for the UDX banner, Urpina is still pretty good in my opinion, and I have since been using Gustav with Triple Crush. So I'm not really sure who are in the pool, but again, look at your box, see what you're missing. If you're missing some counter units, some healers, really good DPS, so just look at it carefully and check out the units from the bottomless banner. For the Saga Soul banner, unfortunately it's Flame Tyrant. There's only one character that's good, which is Flame Tyrant, even though Kelvin, Nusakan, and Alkarl would have some niche application with them. But if you're only chasing for Flame Tyrant, that it's gonna be a 1% banner, so it's a little risky, especially if you are low on jewels. But again, you feel that if you feel that you need some of the other characters other than Flame Tyrant or Pyrix, then yeah, go ahead and pull in the banner, especially if you're playing favorites. That's an important factor as well. So just to summarize the Saga Soul banner, Flame Tyrant is a good column and AoE farmer that may be helpful in farming for a while, and then Kelvin has some boss and single target farming capability, and may also help inflict ailment with, you know, double willpower debuff. Same as for Nusakan, a boss farmer, a healer, and may be able to inflict the same ailment in the same manner as Kelvin, and then Nusakan would also be able to prepare your martial arts team for Domafa later on. And again, that confused confused aspect of Nusakan is not unique to him. Creator, second style, and third style would also have confused for martial arts. Lastly, Alkarl is an okay boss and AoE farmer and can act as a pseudo tank for hard content. But yeah, that's what I think with the banner. If you decide to pull in any of these banners, I wish you the best of luck and I hope you get the characters you wanted. Alright, thank you so much everyone and see you in the next stream or video.